The music industry is coming alive. You don't often hear that from a singer. More often you hear them bemoaning the fact that piracy, music sharing and streaming have unfairly hit their music sales. But this prediction of a rosy future comes from one of the most successful singers in the industry, Taylor Swift.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now, blew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble.
Taylor Swift's I Knew You Were Trouble. Well, we are joined in our radio car by Pete Waterman, who knows a thing or two about hits. He was one of the most successful songwriting and producing partnerships of all time with Stock Aitken and Waterman. Here in the studio is Sam Hall. She's perhaps better known as the DJ Goldie Rocks, and her show, the Sunday Times calls it the most cutting-edge British music show out there. The Selector broadcasts in 42 countries. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Morning.
Pete Waterman, you've read what Taylor Swift has written in this article in the Wall Street Journal about this rather upbeat view, in a way, of what the music industry could be, will continue to be. Do you think she's right?
I think it's a great article. I think it's one of the best articles I've ever written. Ever read. Sorry. I wish I'd written it. I really do. Because it's the one thing that has been missing from the record industry. This is a female artist who's articulated a real problem, and I think it's a brilliant article. Absolutely brilliant.
Right. What do you reckon, Sam Hall?
I think the fact that she's female makes it quite sad. It sort of seems to be incredibly naive, incredibly unworldly, and not from the perspective of your average musician trying to make a living out of his work.
Why? Because she is a superstar anyway, so it's easier for her?
And she's been a superstar from a very, very young age, so I don't think she has a sort of a true perspective on what it is to be a struggling musician.
OK, perhaps we had better do a little bit of an update for those who don't know who Taylor Swift is, and I'm sure there can't be many Radio 4 audience who don't know, but she is she's 24 now?
She's 24, and Forbes estimated her earnings to be 64 million.
OK. Hugely successful. What is it about it, what she says, Pete Waterman, that you like?
I like the fact that she says when she does a concert anymore, there's nobody who hasn't seen it. Because it's been on the web, it's been on YouTube, everybody's seen it. And it's sad that an artist can't go out every night and enjoy her performance because she feels that it's been ruined by everybody seeing it before she gets there. That's sad. Because songs are about emotion, and if you can't get emotion on a stage as an artist, whether you're a struggling artist or an artist that has £24 million in the bank, there's something wrong with you. That's sad.
So it's sad that you say that, but I presume what you like is that she responds to this by saying, look, I know this is going to be the case, so I have to change it every night.
Absolutely. And I think that she's looking at the technology barrier and saying that's a part of our industry which I can't get round. Downloads, streaming and all this is part of what I do, but I want to actually just feel the songs. I want to be able to love the songs, and I want people to understand why I write these songs. So it's not about technology, it's actually about music. Whether you're struggling or whether you're rich, you should be writing songs because you love music and you're passionate, not whether you can stream it, whether you can download it, whether you can buy it on a hard disk. Right. That's not important. And it's about how you feel.
And Sam Hall, she makes this point about that for people listening to artists, they hope that they'll find the one. And she talks about for my father it was the Beach Boys, for my mother it was Carly Simon, and that's what an artist wants. Is that naive? Is she being you rather rudely dismiss it?
No, I mean, from the perspective of, why does anyone become a musician? I think most people, it isn't to make a buck, it is just to create and that urgency to make music and spread that passion and love. So although it is idealistic, fair to her, and especially being so young, the point about having to sort of rejig your live performances every night, I think that's how it should be for any performance anyway. Any performer anyway, you should always need that electricity and feed it to your audience. It should always be fresh. It should always be new.
Okay. And so you would say we're still left in this situation where people who are making good music are not being paid fairly for it.
The music has existed for thousands and thousands of years. It's only in the last 50 years or so that we've insisted on forming it into this industry, as we call it. Music's not going to be going anywhere. Musicians aren't going to be going anywhere. I just think we really have to rethink how we consume and sell it and make it into a product.
Pete Waterman.
No, I think that's quite right. But the problem is, it isn't the musician that's getting the money. It's the company that own the downloads. It's the company that own the SMPs. It's them people that, like Google, that are not interested in music. They're interested in a commodity. They're interested in delivering it as fast as possible, as cheaply as possible, then moving on. They're looking for something new every single day. They're not interested in music. They're not interested in artists.
So what do you do about that? What do people do about that, Pete Waterman, if you really believe that?
No, I think you can't do anything about it until one day somebody wakes up and says, you know what, I want to own this. Exactly what she's saying. I want to actually own that album. I want to wake up and play it when I want to play it, and I want to enjoy it. I don't want it any minute and throw it away. That's what she's believing in, and that's great.
And she does make that point, Sam Hall, that people do still buy albums. They've just got to be really cracking albums that say something to them and make that connection.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I think everyone wants to hold an album in their hand, but they listen to it, and you can fall in love with an album and have not parted, your pennies for it. I think that doesn't take away for love for music or love for artists.
Sam
So
Hall.
can I just ask a question? If you're not going to pay for something, how's the artist going to live then?
I think it's really sort of investigating different avenues of income, live shows, merchandise, things that you have to pay for. You have to put your money to get a ticket to go into a gig
But
centre.
why not recording music? You don't go into a store with a headache and ask for an aspirin, they give it you. You have to buy it.
I'm not saying that
Cheap as it may be, you have to buy it.
I don't.
So why is music
Okay.
free and medicine isn't?
I'm not saying it should be free. I'm just saying, the horse is already bolted from that barn. Like we need to really, rather than sort of pining
hang on,
after
that's
the
not
days
true.
of old.
I
Pete,
make
to
more
address
money
this.
now than I did 20 years ago.
That's great.
From downloads. I make more money.
Go on. You make more money from
Yeah.
downloads.
Yes, we make more money today from streaming and downloads than we made 25 years ago when Rick Astley was number one.
Because-
That's a fact.
Because people are paying for it?
Yes. Yes, this is a myth that everything is free. No, it isn't. Certain things don't get paid for. But in the general, they used to have tapes and we used to do cassettes and that. You never got paid for those.
So if
People
Rick
had those
Astley
in
can
their
still
cars.
do it, then others can too. Pete Waterman,
Absolutely.
Sam Hall, Goldie Rocks, thank you both very much.